There is a silent struggle that begins for many people after the age of 60. A struggle that creeps into the quiet hours of the night when the body should be resting but the mind remains restless. Sleep that once came easily now feels broken and fragile. Nights are filled with tossing and turning. Mornings begin with heavy eyes and a sense that true rest has slipped away. For many, this becomes a cycle that feels impossible to escape, leaving them searching for solutions that rarely deliver what they promise. Some turn to sleeping pills and wake up feeling foggy and dependent. Others take melatonin hoping for balance but discover it fades after a short while. Herbal teas are tried, rituals are created, yet still the sleep remains shallow. The frustration is not only in the lack of rest, but in the way it touches every part of life. Energy fades, memory weakens, the mood becomes fragile, and even the smallest tasks feel heavier than they should. It is not simply a matter of lying in bed. It is about the body losing its natural rhythm and the heart losing the peace that sleep is meant to bring. But what if the answer does not come from a pharmacy or a laboratory? What if it comes from something so ordinary, something so familiar, that it is likely sitting in your kitchen right now? Ginger, a root known for centuries in different cultures, may hold the quiet key to restoring the kind of sleep that feels natural and deep. For generations, people have used ginger to warm the body, relax the nerves, and ease discomfort. Modern science now confirms what tradition has long suggested. Compounds inside ginger can calm inflammation, improve circulation, and signal the nervous system to slow down. When the heart rate softens and the body warms, sleep is not forced, it is invited. This is not about magic or miracle cures. It is about rediscovering the simple ways the body can return to balance when given the right signals. Sleep is not an accident. It is a response to the environment we create within and around ourselves. Ginger offers one of the most natural and accessible ways to send that message. In the journey ahead, we will explore why sleep becomes fragile after 60, how ginger has carried wisdom from ancient kitchens to modern science, and the practical ways you can use it to prepare your body for deep rest. The story of better sleep is not written in chemicals alone. It is written in the harmony between tradition, science, and the quiet choices we make before we close our eyes. As the body crosses the threshold of 60, sleep begins to change in ways that are both subtle and profound. The deep restorative rest that once arrived with ease often becomes lighter, shorter, and more fragile. To understand why, we need to look at what truly happens inside the body as it ages. One of the most important factors is the natural decline of melatonin, the hormone that guides the rhythm of sleep and wake. In youth, the body produces it in steady waves that signal the mind when to slow down and when to awaken. After 60, these waves become weaker. The body struggles to send clear instructions, so sleep comes in fragments rather than in long stretches. Another factor lies in blood circulation. With age, the vessels lose some of their flexibility. Blood does not flow as smoothly, and the warmth that once spread evenly through the body fades. Cold hands and feet at night are not just small discomforts. They are signs that the body cannot easily relax into the state needed for deep rest. Poor circulation means the brain may not receive the oxygen and nutrients it needs to fully recharge, leaving the mind restless even when the eyes are closed. The nervous system also changes. It becomes more sensitive to stress signals and less able to calm itself. Cortisol, the hormone of alertness, tends to stay elevated longer than it should. This makes the brain hold on to tension from the day, replaying thoughts and worries long after the body lies in bed. The result is a nervous system that remains alert instead of entering the calm state that invites sleep. Chronic health conditions add another layer of complexity. High blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, or heart disease often interfere with the natural rhythm of sleep. Pain in the joints or discomfort in the chest makes it harder to find peace in the night. Medications, while necessary, can sometimes cause side effects that disturb rest, creating a cycle that is difficult to break. Even lifestyle patterns contribute. Many older adults take naps during the day to recover energy, but these naps can reduce the pressure to sleep at night. Evening habits such as late meals, caffeine, or watching television until midnight add to the disruption. Over time, the body forgets the simple rhythm of light and dark, work and rest, and the clock inside begins to lose its way. This is why insomnia after 60 is not simply a problem of the night. It is a reflection of changes that affect the entire body. The weakening of hormones, the slowing of circulation, the heightened sensitivity of the nervous system, the presence of chronic illness, and the patterns of daily living all come together to shape the experience of rest. Yet within this challenge lies a hidden opportunity. When we understand what the body needs, we can begin to create conditions that guide it gently back toward balance. We cannot stop the passage of time, but we can give the body signals that help it remember how to relax. This is where natural methods like ginger play an important role. They do not override the body, they support it. They work with what is already there, enhancing circulation, calming nerves, and sending warmth where it is most needed. For those over 60, sleep does not need to be surrendered as a lost gift of youth. It can be cultivated again with patience, care, and the right practices. By acknowledging the changes in the body, we honor its wisdom and we find ways to work alongside it instead of against it. Deep rest is not gone. It is waiting for the right invitation. Long before science placed names on compounds and measured their effects, people across cultures had already discovered the quiet power of ginger. It was never just a spice, it was a symbol of warmth, vitality, and balance. In kitchens, in traditional medicine, and in rituals of care, ginger held a place that was both ordinary and sacred. In Asia, ginger has been cherished for centuries, not only for its sharp and warming taste, but for its ability to bring the body back to harmony. In Chinese traditional medicine, ginger is described as warm in nature, with a strong connection to the lungs, spleen, and stomach. It was believed to open the flow of energy and blood, to ease digestion, and to drive out cold from the body. A cup of ginger tea was not only for taste, it was a remedy for chills, coughs, and restless nights. People trusted that when the body was warm and the energy was flowing, sleep would arrive naturally. In India, ginger became a cornerstone of Ayurveda, the ancient system of health. It was called the universal medicine, used to ignite digestive fire, cleanse the body, and restore balance. Warm milk with ginger or herbal blends containing ginger were common in evening routines, helping people calm the body after long days of labor. In the Ayurvedic tradition, balance between mind, body, and spirit is essential, and ginger was one of the tools that made such balance possible. The Middle East and Mediterranean also embraced ginger. Traders carried it along the spice routes where it was valued not only as a seasoning, but as a medicine that could strengthen the body during cold nights and long journeys. It became part of teas, sweets, and tonics that were shared not just for flavor, but for their power to comfort. In medieval Europe, gingerbread and ginger ale were more than treats. They were reminders of health and warmth in a time when winters were harsh and remedies were scarce. What makes ginger unique in culture is the way it bridges the ordinary and the extraordinary. It is a root found in markets and kitchens, sliced into meals and drinks, yet it carries with it a history of healing and care. Families passed recipes down through generations. Mothers prepared ginger tea for children with colds. Elders used ginger compresses to ease aches, and neighbors shared slices of ginger as a gesture of kindness. To use ginger was to connect with a lineage of wisdom that stretched across time and geography. The cultural meaning of ginger is also deeply tied to its symbolism. Warmth has always been associated with comfort and safety. When the body is cold, it feels vulnerable, but when it is warmed, it feels protected. Ginger represented that warmth not only in taste, but in spirit. It reminded people that healing does not always require something complex. Sometimes it comes from what is most familiar and close. In every culture where ginger found a home, one pattern repeats itself. It was trusted as a gentle ally that restores balance rather than forcing change. It does not numb, it awakens. It does not overpower, it supports. This is why it remains timeless. Even today, in an age of advanced medicine and laboratories, people return to ginger when they seek comfort at night. They may not speak of meridians or ancient balance, but they still feel its warmth. They still notice how it calms the body and prepares it for rest. The history and culture of ginger teach us something beyond health. They show us that wisdom often lives in the simplest of things. that the answers to deep needs like sleep have been known for centuries, waiting in our kitchens, waiting in traditions that remind us of the connection between nature and the human body. When we honor that wisdom, we not only improve our sleep, we strengthen our bond with the generations who discovered it long before us. The wisdom of tradition becomes more powerful when science begins to explain what cultures have long known. Ginger is no longer seen only as a spice that warms the body. It is recognized as a plant with bioactive compounds that affect the nervous system, circulation, and even the chemistry of the brain. When we look closely at how ginger works inside the body, we begin to see why it can play such a meaningful role in the restoration of sleep. The two most important compounds found in ginger are gingerol and shogaol. Gingerol is abundant in fresh ginger and is known for its strong anti-inflammatory effects. It reduces swelling in blood vessels, allowing blood to move more freely through the body. When circulation improves, the brain receives more oxygen and nutrients, which are critical for calming the nervous system before rest. Shogaol, which forms when ginger is dried or cooked, carries powerful antioxidant effects and has been observed to quiet an overactive central nervous system. Together, these compounds create a physiological environment in which relaxation and sleep are far more likely to occur. Scientific studies have shown that ginger can influence cortisol, the hormone that keeps the body alert and ready for stress. In younger people, cortisol naturally drops in the evening, signaling the body to slow down. In older adults, this decline is often weaker, leaving the body in a state of tension even when the day is done. Research suggests that ginger may help regulate cortisol, encouraging a smoother transition into the restful state that precedes sleep. This effect does not sedate the body, it guides it back to its natural rhythm. Another fascinating finding is the connection between ginger and serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that plays a central role in mood and in the sleep-wake cycle. It is the chemical that later converts into melatonin, the very hormone that directs the rhythm of rest. Some studies indicate that ginger can stimulate the production of serotonin, which then helps the brain create more melatonin when the body needs it. For people over 60 whose natural melatonin levels have declined, this gentle support can make a noticeable difference. Clinical trials, though often small in scale, provide encouraging evidence. In one study, participants who drank warm ginger tea in the evening reported feeling warmer, calmer, and more at ease. Their heart rate slowed. Their extremities no longer felt cold, and they fell asleep more quickly than before. These may sound like small details, but in the language of the body, they are profound signals that the system is ready to rest. For older adults who struggle with circulation and temperature regulation, these changes can mean the difference between a night of shallow dozing and a night of deep renewal. What sets ginger apart from pharmaceutical sleep aids is its safety profile. Sleeping pills often create dependence, leaving people unable to rest without them. They can cause memory fog, balance problems, and drowsiness that lingers into the day. Ginger does not carry these risks when used properly. Its effects are supportive rather than controlling, encouraging the body to heal its own rhythm instead of replacing it with an artificial one. Science also highlights the accessibility of ginger. It is inexpensive, available in every supermarket, and can be prepared in many different forms. Unlike complex supplements or costly treatments, ginger can be sliced, boiled, or infused in ways that adapt to personal taste. The very act of preparing ginger tea or a ginger soak becomes a calming ritual, reinforcing the psychological readiness for sleep while the body receives the physiological benefits. It is important, however, to recognize that ginger is not a cure-all. Its effects vary from person to person. Some notice improvements within a few days, while others require consistent use for a week or two before changes appear. The beauty of ginger lies in its consistency, in the way it gradually teaches the body to relax, without the sudden highs and lows that often come with stronger drugs. Modern science does not dismiss the ancient trust in ginger. It confirms it. By naming compounds like gingerol and shogaol, by measuring cortisol and serotonin, and by observing real changes in sleep quality, science gives us language to explain what cultures have practiced for centuries. Ginger does not work by accident. It works because it speaks the same biological language as the body itself. When we place a slice of ginger into hot water, we are not only preparing a drink, We are unlocking molecules that signal warmth, calm, and balance. When we sip it, we are not only tasting spice, we are inviting the nervous system to soften and the heart to slow. Science shows us that this invitation is real, measurable, and deeply aligned with the body's natural design. Understanding the science is important, but what truly matters is how we bring it into our daily lives. Ginger can only support sleep if it is used in ways that are simple, practical, and consistent. For many people over 60, the strength of ginger lies not just in its compounds, but in the small rituals of care that form around it. These rituals create signals for the body, telling it that the day is ending and that rest is near. Let us explore 3 methods, each with its own character and strength, beginning with the most gentle and moving toward the most powerful. The 3rd method is ginger with rock sugar. This is perhaps the simplest recipe, yet it has been treasured in folk medicine for generations. The warmth of ginger blends with the light sweetness of rock sugar to create a drink that soothes both body and mind. Gingerol and shogaol inside the ginger open blood vessels and calm the nervous system, while the subtle cooling quality of rock sugar balances the heat so the drinker does not feel dryness in the mouth. This harmony of warm and sweet creates a signal that the day is softening. For those who often feel cold or tense before bed, this drink can bring comfort in just a few days. The preparation is straightforward. Wash half a root of fresh ginger and slice it thinly. Place it in half a liter of water and bring to a boil. Once the water bubbles, add a small piece of rock sugar. Stir gently and let it simmer for 5 more minutes. Drink it while warm, ideally in the afternoon or early evening, not too close to bedtime to avoid feeling heavy. With regular use, people often notice that their bodies feel lighter, their minds calmer, and when night arrives, sleep comes with less effort. The beauty of this method lies in its simplicity. It does not require major preparation, only a willingness to pause and allow warmth to flow into the body. The 2nd method is soaking the feet with ginger and salt. Drinking is not the only way to use ginger. The skin, especially on the feet, can absorb active compounds while also benefiting from heat and circulation. The feet are rich in acupressure points, connected to the heart, the brain, and the nervous system. When the feet are placed in warm water with ginger and salt, the vessels expand, circulation improves, and the parasympathetic nervous system is activated. This is the state of deep relaxation, the state the body must enter before true sleep can begin. The process is also simple. Crush half a root of ginger to release its essence. Place it in a basin of warm water between 104 and 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Add a teaspoon of salt and stir well. Soak the feet for about 20 minutes before bed, gently massaging the soles and toes to further support circulation. Afterward, dry the feet and wear thin socks to preserve warmth through the night. The result is not only relaxation, but also the comforting sense of being cared for. Warm feet are linked directly with faster sleep onset, and many people find that this method transforms their evenings into a ritual of peace. There are cautions to respect. Those with open wounds, infections, or severe vascular problems should avoid this practice without consulting a doctor. People with heart disease or who have just undergone surgery should take care. The water should never be too hot, as burns are dangerous, and the soak should not last more than 30 minutes. Yet for most healthy individuals, this method is safe, pleasant, and surprisingly effective. It is more than treatment, it is therapy, because it calms the mind as much as it supports the body. The first method, the strongest and most comprehensive, is ginger honey lemon tea. This formula combines 3 ingredients, each carrying its own role, together forming a drink that supports sleep and overall health. Ginger warms the body and relaxes the nervous system. Honey stabilizes blood sugar through the night and stimulates serotonin, which the body converts into melatonin. Lemon provides a gentle aroma and a touch of vitamin C, protecting the immune system while refreshing the senses. The result is not only a tea, but an evening ritual that signals closure to the day. To prepare it, boil half a liter of water and add 4 to 6 slices of fresh ginger. Simmer for 5 minutes, then let it cool slightly before adding 1 tablespoon of honey and the juice of 1/4 to half a lemon, depending on taste. Stir well and drink while warm. About an hour before bedtime, the warmth of ginger, the softness of honey, and the brightness of lemon create a balance that eases the body toward rest. For many, the simple act of sipping this tea while reading or listening to calm music becomes as important as the tea itself. It is not only about chemistry, it is about the slow rhythm of preparation, the pause, and the signal to the brain that the day is complete. The choice of which method to use depends on the individual. Some prefer the sweetness of ginger with rock sugar. Others find comfort in the tactile care of soaking feet, and many embrace the completeness of ginger honey lemon tea. None of these need to be done all at once. The true power lies in consistency. Choosing one method and practicing it daily creates a rhythm the body can trust. Over time, the body begins to anticipate the ritual, associating it with the arrival of rest. Each of these methods is more than a remedy. They are ways of reclaiming the evening, of turning restless hours into a time of gentle preparation. They remind us that sleep does not come by force, it comes by invitation. Ginger, whether sipped, soaked, or brewed with honey and lemon, is one of the most natural invitations we can offer. In the quiet of the night, these small practices carry the strength of centuries of tradition and the support of modern science. For those who have struggled for years, they can be the beginning of a new relationship with sleep, one that feels natural, deep, and truly restorative. The beauty of ginger lies in its simplicity, yet even the simplest remedies must be used with wisdom. Just as sleep itself depends on balance, the use of ginger requires awareness and moderation. When approached with care, ginger can become a reliable ally, but when used carelessly, it may create discomfort rather than relief. The first note is not to overuse it, because ginger is warming. Taking it in very strong concentrations for long periods can place stress on the liver and stomach. Moderation is essential. A few slices in tea or a daily foot soak is enough to invite rest. More is not always better. The body responds to gentle signals, not to overwhelming force. The second note is to pay attention to the quality of the ginger itself. Never use ginger that is bruised, moldy, or decayed. Damaged ginger can produce toxins harmful to the liver and increase long-term risks. Always wash the root carefully, but avoid peeling it completely, since the skin holds valuable nutrients. By respecting the ingredient, we ensure that what enters the body is pure and beneficial. There are also cases where ginger should be avoided. Those who are experiencing high fever or heat stroke should not use it, since ginger's warming nature can intensify the condition. People with serious diseases of the liver, lungs, or stomach should consult a doctor before using it regularly. Those with severe diabetes or high blood pressure need medical guidance as well. Infections of the skin, boils, or ulcers on the feet are also reasons to avoid soaking. In such cases, ginger is not harmful in itself, but the body may not be in a state to receive its benefits safely. It is also important to remember timing. Drinking ginger tea too close to bedtime may cause a feeling of fullness that makes sleep harder. Foot soaks should be limited to about 20 minutes, with water at a comfortable warmth, not burning hot. Small details like these matter, because they help the body recognize ginger as support, not as stress. Finally, ginger should be seen as part of a larger picture. No single ingredient can guarantee perfect sleep. It works best when combined with other healthy habits. A balanced diet, gentle evening movement, a calm mind, and the avoidance of stimulants like caffeine, alcohol, or cigarettes all contribute to better rest. Ginger becomes most powerful when it is woven into a lifestyle that values care and rhythm. When these notes are respected, ginger can be used safely and effectively. It can serve as a daily reminder that health does not require extremes, only attention and balance. By using ginger with wisdom, older adults can enjoy its warmth and calming influence without fear, allowing it to be a steady companion on the journey back to deep and natural sleep. It is easy to hope that one single change will solve the challenge of sleep, yet the truth is deeper. Ginger can support the body. It can bring warmth, balance, and calm, but sleep is shaped by the whole rhythm of life. To restore rest after 60, we must see ginger as part of a larger picture, a companion to the habits that prepare the mind and body for peace each night. Diet plays an important role. Eating heavy meals late in the evening forces the stomach to keep working when it should be resting. Spicy or greasy food can disturb the digestive system and create discomfort that lingers into the night. Instead, lighter meals and calming foods give the body a better chance to relax. Ginger complements this by soothing the stomach and supporting digestion, but it cannot undo the strain of poor eating habits. Movement is another piece of the puzzle. Gentle exercise during the day helps regulate circulation and keeps the body tired in a healthy way. A short walk after dinner, light stretching, or breathing exercises allow energy to flow more freely. For older adults, these small movements are enough to reduce tension and prepare the nervous system for rest. Ginger supports circulation, but its effects are stronger when the body itself remains active. Equally important is the mind. Stress, worry, and constant stimulation keep the nervous system on high alert. Many people over 60 spend evenings in front of bright screens, scrolling through endless information. The light and noise send signals to the brain that it is still daytime, delaying the release of melatonin. Creating a calm environment in the evening is essential. Reading a few pages of a book, listening to soft music, or practicing gratitude can lower the mind's guard. When paired with a warm cup of ginger tea, these practices create a powerful signal that it is time to rest. There is also the matter of avoiding stimulants. Coffee, alcohol, and cigarettes may seem harmless in small amounts, but each one disrupts the delicate balance of sleep. Caffeine keeps the brain alert. Alcohol may make people feel sleepy at first, but often causes restlessness later in the night, and nicotine is a stimulant that unsettles the nervous system. By removing these from the evening, the body receives a clearer invitation to relax. The environment in which we sleep also matters. A quiet, cool, and dark room helps the body align with its natural rhythms. Soft bedding and supportive pillows reduce discomfort. For those who struggle with circulation, keeping the body warm, especially the feet, can make a remarkable difference. Ginger foot soaks, or tea, then become not just remedies, but part of a complete system of care. Ginger is powerful, but its greatest strength is found when it is combined with these healthy choices. It works not as a single solution, but as a partner, supporting the body as it receives signals from diet, movement, calm, and environment. Sleep is a reflection of balance, and balance requires attention in many areas. When older adults bring these elements together, the night becomes less of a struggle and more of a natural continuation of the day. Good sleep is not an accident. It is not a gift reserved for the young. It is the natural outcome of the signals we give our body each day. For those over 60, the journey back to deep rest begins with the recognition that the body has changed, yet it still holds the wisdom to restore itself when given the right support. Ginger, a small root found in every market and kitchen, can become one of the most powerful allies in this journey. Across centuries and cultures, ginger has been trusted to warm, to soothe, and to heal. Science now confirms that its compounds calm the nervous system, improve circulation, and guide the body toward balance. The three methods we explored, ginger with rock sugar, soaking feet with ginger and salt, and ginger honey lemon tea, are not simply recipes, they are rituals. They transform ordinary evenings into a time of care, sending clear signals to the body that it is safe to let go, safe to rest. But the deeper lesson is this: sleep is not restored through a single act, but through a way of living. Ginger works best when it is part of a rhythm that respects the body, when it is joined with light meals, gentle movement, calm evenings, and an environment of peace. The body listens to every signal, and when these signals align, sleep returns not as a struggle, but as a natural response. For older adults, this truth can be liberating. The frustration of restless nights does not have to define the later years of life. By embracing small practices, by preparing tea or soaking feet, by creating space for silence, sleep can become a friend once more. It is not about chasing hours of rest. It is about creating balance so the body can do what it was designed to do. The message of ginger is simple yet profound. Healing does not always come from the extraordinary. Sometimes it comes from what is most familiar. A slice of ginger, a cup of warm tea, a few minutes of mindful preparation. These can shift the night from restlessness to renewal. In choosing these practices, we honor both the wisdom of the past and the discoveries of modern science. So let each evening become a gentle ritual. Let the warmth of ginger guide the body, let the calm it brings remind the mind, and let the night be a time of peace. Sleep is not gone, it is waiting. With patience, care, and the right signals, it will return, and with it comes the energy, clarity, and joy that make each new day worth living.